Hi, I'm Nate Savage and welcome to video 10 of the Rhythm Guitar Quick Start series. We're going to continue our focus on your strumming hand by working on developing your timing and feel. Now, this is one critical area of musicianship that's really important for you to develop. If your timing is good, people are going to enjoy listening to you and they're going to enjoy playing with you too. If your timing is not so good, people won't enjoy listening to you as much and they'll be a little bit frustrated when they're playing with you too. One of the key elements to developing your timing is using a metronome or practicing with a metronome. Now, you can use the jam tracks I've supplied for you here too, but it's important that you have some kind of constant beat to keep you on track. And you know, sometimes players don't even realize that they have timing problems until they get in a situation where it's really obvious and embarrassing for them. So don't let that be you. Work on your timing here, get it down so when you need it to be sharp, it'll be sharp. I'm going to teach you a great exercise for developing your timing and feel. And in order to play that exercise, you need to be familiar with note subdivisions. And by that, I mean quarter notes, eighth note triplets, and 16th notes. For this lesson, we're going to be using a jam track that's just drums. We're going to be using that as our metronome. It's at 70 beats per minute for this lesson, but if you want to use a metronome, you can use that too. This loop is in 4/4 time, and you're going to count along with it 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And those numbers are our basic quarter notes or our foundation beat or pulse. You can strum along with quarter notes using all downstrokes or alternating down and upstrokes, but being able to follow a beat and really lock in with it is the first step to developing your timing, and it's the first step to playing this exercise. So listen to the drum beat when you're playing through this and try to lock in with that drummer and just be right on the beat and have all your strums spaced evenly. Here's what it'll sound like. Work on this until you feel very comfortable staying with that beat. You can even pull out a metronome and try going slower tempos or faster tempos. It's up to you, but just really lock in on that beat. One tip that I want to give you here is if you're moving some other part of your body, whether it's nodding your head or tapping your foot, that's really going to help you stay in time. The next step in our little exercise is to be able to switch from quarter notes to eighth notes and back and forth. And if you're not familiar with eighth notes, you're basically going to be doubling up how much strumming you're doing. So if you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, those are quarter notes. To count eighth notes, you're going to stick some ands in between each number and double the amount of strumming. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And when you transition from quarter notes to eighth notes, odds are you're probably either going to start dragging behind the beat or rushing ahead of the beat. So you want to keep listening for that beat, and when you change from quarters to eighths, just try to lock in with that beat and keep all your strumming as evenly spaced as possible. So when you switch to eighth notes, I'd really recommend using alternating down and up strumming. It's a little bit easier to keep up with. So here's how this would sound, starting with quarter notes, switching to eighth notes, and then going back to quarter notes. You can do this for as long as you want for each subdivision. It's really up to you and how long it takes you to feel comfortable with switching between each one. If you've hung in there with me so far on this exercise, you're doing a great job. Now we're going to get to the tricky part of the exercise. We need to be able to play eighth note triplets now. That's our next subdivision. Now, eighth note triplets are 3 evenly spaced strums per beat. And if you've never counted triplets before, like I said, it can be a little bit tricky. The way you would do it is count 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Do you see how there are 3 syllables for each beat? If you're having trouble with that, trouble playing it, you might want to just forget about playing it for a while and just try tapping it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Another thing you're going to want to watch out for is this. A lot of people, when they're first starting to learn how to count triplets, they end up doing this. Triplet, 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 triplet. That's not 3 evenly spaced notes. That's 2 short notes and a long note. So be careful for that. You want it spaced evenly. Triplet. And since you have 3 strums per each beat, it's worth noting here that you're going to start off with a down, up, down for your strumming. And the next beat is going to be up, down, up. Since 3 is an odd number, it just works out that way. It starts off on a downstroke, 1 beat, alternates to an upstroke, the next beat, and so on. So let's add this triplet to our exercise that we've already been doing. So go through quarter notes for however many measures you want to until you sink into that feel. Go to 8th notes, and then go to 8th note triplets. You're probably going to notice that when you switch to the triplets, you're going to have some rushing or dragging, and that's normal because the triplets have such a different feel from the 8th notes or quarter notes, but here's how it should sound. The final subdivision for our exercise is going to be 16th notes. And you may have guessed it by now, 16th notes is 4 evenly spaced notes or strums per beat. If you've never counted 16th notes before, you can count it by saying 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. That gives us 4 distinct syllables for each beat. And again, if this is tough for you, just try tapping it first. 1, 2, 3, 4. So once you're comfortable with these 16th notes, you're going to want to put it in this exercise, incorporate it. Go quarter notes, 8th notes, 8th note triplets, 16th notes, and then work your way back down to, and again, tapping your foot or nodding your head on the quarter note pulse will help keep you in time. The whole point of this exercise is to just help you be aware of where the beat is and be able to switch between subdivisions on a moment's notice. If you can get this down, it's really going to sharpen your rhythm and it's really going to set you apart from a lot of other guitar players. I know this is a lot of information, so don't feel like you have to have all 4 of these subdivisions down today in one exercise, right? Start out with just quarter notes and 8th notes. Then once you feel comfortable with that, add in the 8th note triplets. Once you feel comfortable with that, do all 4 and just mix it up. Thanks for watching this lesson. In the next lesson, we're going to talk about some tools to start embellishing your strumming, single bass notes, and muted strums. If you have any questions, you can leave them here in the comments, or you can email me, Nate@guitarsystem.com. See you later.